What up guys, it's your boy Nathan back at it again with another video, and today we are finally going to put the Black Optics grill on the R8, so let's go and check it out. So here it is guys, this is going to be the Black Optics front grill, and right behind me is the R8. So we're gonna go ahead and open this up and check it out. This looks so much better than the original one. This is the original one right here. You can kind of see it's anthracite or titanium, whatever, with this chrome outside right here that just doesn't really look good. Let me go ahead and put it side by side so you guys can see it. And just comparing the two, the Black Optics one definitely looks 10 times better. We're gonna go ahead and try to attempt to install this. I heard that is a very lengthy process. This is my first time working on an R8, so hopefully it isn't too bad. From the looks of it, I don't think it's going to be that bad, but who knows. So the first thing we obviously have to do is open the hood. So the first step is to remove these two pins right here. What we could use is just a flat head and put it in here and just twist it for it to unlock. Once we have those two pins unlatched from the actual bumper, we should be able to lift this up and expose the latch. So let's go ahead and do that. Make sure when you're doing this, just don't be too rough to the plastic pieces because you don't want to break anything. I figured that since this is a Audi R8, everything is going to cost a lot of money if you break it, so just try to be delicate with it. Just give it a little bit of wiggle room and try to slowly take it off. Something I noticed is that this trim right here is connected to this trim, and if you pull it up, it might pull both of the trims up together. So taking a closer look, it's actually connected right here by a little pin, so you can just hold this side down and kind of slowly peel it up a little bit, and it will detach from the side trim right here. So it turns out, if you take a look at this, there's actually two clips on both sides that connect to that side trim, so make sure you take that apart. I find it kind of difficult to take this part off the weather seal, but what worked for me was to pretty much kind of lift it up and kind of slowly wiggle it out, and it was able to pop out. And this is the first trim. One trim down and a few more to go. After taking a closer look at what's going to have to come off in order for us to take off the front bumper, I noticed that this trim right here is going to be in contact with the headlight as well as the side of the actual bumper. So I think a good safety measure to not mess up the light, even though I have PPF, is just to put some painter's tape on it just to protect the light from any scratches, because the last thing you want to do is scratch your headlight because these things aren't cheap. So the next step is going to be using a T30 right here, and I believe it's also a T30 right behind here. It's hard to see, but hopefully if the light could catch it, you could kind of see that there is something right in that little ditch right there. We're gonna go ahead and bust out the power tools to make our job easier, because I heard there's a lot of screws on this bumper and I don't think I want to be using a screwdriver the whole time. So in order to get to the screws right behind here, what I find works best is to remove two of the pins right here. You kind of just grab this part, pop it out a little bit, and just wiggle it a little bit underneath this little mount, this little seal right here. And just be careful. And that should give you enough room to reach the actual screws. So next we're going to need to remove these three Torque Tony screws, and there should be one all the way up inside here. I'll show you guys later, but we're going to need to remove them. They're right in the wheel well. You're going to need to turn your wheel just for easier access, so let's go ahead and remove these three along with the one hidden one back there. I think the only thing that we need to do now is to remove probably around 10 to 15 T30 screws underneath the front bumper. You should be able to see it looking down. Good thing the R8 has a lot of ground clearance, so we should be able to fit the power tool underneath there. So I'm pretty sure I got all of the screws out there. If all the screws are now off, we should be able to slide this panel off and remove the actual bumper. So let's go ahead and do that. So I was having issues taking out the front bumper, and I thought there was some hidden bolt somewhere, but if you just really take a look at it, there is this little clip right here that I noticed that you press down and you just pull it, it comes off, and the whole bumper comes off like that. Just try to be careful not to bend it, but pushing this down, pulling it out, and now the whole bumper should come apart. Now that we have the front bumper off, there's quite a bit of things that we still have to do. We have to take out this little foam reinforcement piece. We have to take out the sensors, and we have to take out these little fake guards or whatever panel this is for the actual grill. Kind of disappointed that they didn't just make a whole full open grill, but it is what it is. And I think once we're able to remove all this, there's still some tabs that we have to pop out and remove the actual grill itself. I do see a lot of Torx screws here and all different sizes, so I do recommend using a power tool to make this job a lot quicker. So there is going to be 2 rivets, one on each side. What I'm going to do is just try to drill them out and just break them apart. So I was trying to remove the grill, and removing the tabs on the side is really easy, but the ones on the bottom was super hard. I don't know if it's because I was doing it wrong, but I tried everything to try to remove it and it didn't work. So what I ended up doing is just wedging a screwdriver and kind of pushing this tab back a little bit to give me some more clearance for me to be able to press on the push down tab and push it out. And essentially I did that on the left side and also did it on the right side, and that was able to give me enough leverage to be able to just start popping all the other ones out. It took me quite some time, and I would have to say is pretty damn difficult to take this thing off. All I need to do now is transfer the parking sensors over. There it is, guys. We finally put on the Black Optics front grille. Would I do this again? Probably not. I think removing the bumper was super straightforward, but removing the grille was a pain in the ass. My fingers are literally toasted. Removing the grille probably took majority of the time. The bumper took about 20 minutes to take off and about another 20 to 30 minutes to put it back on, and making sure that everything was aligned correctly. However, the grille, this thing took me a few hours to figure out. I would say 1 or 2 hours, and a lot of cussing and a lot of pain on my fingers. So if you guys are considering doing this, maybe it's worth taking it to the shop and letting them deal with it. Unless you like to stress yourself out, then go for it. Let's go ahead and take a look at the car. What do you guys think? Overall, It just looks so much better than the original. I still gotta get the badge. It's coming in the mail in a few days. It was definitely a learning experience working on this car, and I was kind of nervous to mess something up, but overall it was pretty straightforward as long as you follow the instructions. There's a lot of guides out there to do so. But other than that, guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you're not part of this crew yet, then what are you waiting for? Hit the like button, smash that subscribe. Other than that, peace.